Thank you very much, dear members of European Parliament, dear guests. It's my honor to be here today. So honestly, I should say that the main threat to elections, to upcoming elections in Armenia, is Russia. If shortly, if longly, I should say that there are many ways that Russia is trying to interfere or is interfering to elections in Armenia. First, of course, it's FIMI, so it's information manipulations that Russia is conducting in Armenia's media sphere. Russia has its under-controlled political actors in Armenia who are quite well financed and who are doing a lot of illegal activities, including vote buying, including many other things that are already seen even a couple of months ahead of elections. Another thing is that Russia is sending voters or holders of Armenian passports to Armenia to attend elections, and that's mainly being implemented through Armenian businessmen who operate in Russia. They are forced by the FSB, by the Russian the law enforcement security agency, to send their employees to Armenia to vote for pro-Russian political parties. Otherwise, those businessmen are promised to face a lot of problems. And there are also many other tools of influence that Russia is using or may try to use. And I won't go here into many details, but I would love to talk a little bit more about the narratives that Russia is trying to spread in Armenia. So one is kind of creating impression that everyone is corrupt, that all officials, current or former, they're all equally corrupt. So there are no people who are not corrupt or less corrupt. Everyone is corrupt. Everyone is terrible. Another is creation of kind of impression that Armenia does not have a democracy. So yeah, let's make it clear. The level of democracy of Armenia is not very high. We're not happy with that level. But we do have democracy. And we do have many things that many other countries do not have around in the region. I mean, democratic things. But Russia is trying to create impression that we don't have democracy. Sometimes even trying to create impression that the level of democracy in Armenia is less than it is in Russia. So another thing is that creating impression that Armenia cannot get independence from Russia, like there is no way. All your attempts of getting independence are gonna be failed. You have no way to go. Creating an impression within that Russia is still very strong, that Russian army is very successful in Russia, in Ukraine, that they are not even fully engaged into war. Like if they will be engaged into war, they will occupy Kiev in, I don't know, 3 days or 3 weeks. So they're trying to create impression that many of our problems that we faced during last couple of years are because of we were not good enough with Russia or the Russian government. And of course, manipulating with trade numbers and creating the impression that we cannot do many things without Russia, that we cannot build a nuclear power plant, a new power plant without Russia, that we cannot sell our goods if Russia will close its markets for us, and so on and so forth. Another narrative is anti-peace narrative. And it is split into several topics. One is like ideological anti-peace narrative. Like, how can we be in peace with Azerbaijan because Azeris did so many bad things to us, and this is a historical issue, and we should fight with them forever, and our grandsons should also fight with them, and things like that. And then we should take back the Nagorno-Karabakh. We should take back even sometimes going further, we should take back territories of historic Armenia from Turkey and so on. Another is against opening of borders and trade, creating impression that this is very terrible. Trading with your neighbor is very terrible. It's very dangerous and very bad. And also creating impression that peace means loving each other. And of course, every time when someone from Azerbaijan expresses something that is not love towards Armenians, which is happening quite oftenly, trying to use that to say that, well, you see, the peace is not possible. There is another thing is trying to create impression of absence of safety. And if previously it was mainly on safety from foreign actors, now it's mainly internal safety, because for more than 2 years, 2 years and 2 months, no one was killed on a border between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and that's a big success. That's a big success, and for that reason, mainly the narratives are on domestic issues. If you would ask people on the streets in Yerevan how often homicides are happening, probably people will tell you that every day. While reality is that homicides are happening in average once in a week. Of course, homicide is not good, even if it's happening not so frequently, but still, that reality that they're happening once in a week, and that number has not been changed for the last 15 years. With traditional values, many of you know that Russia loves using traditional values narrative all around the world. In Armenia, they are also trying to do that, but recent, I would say, some clashes between leadership of the government and leadership of Armenian Apostolic Church led to taking the field of traditional values by the ruling party. Because of the ruling party was using the fact that many clerics, many church leaders are not following the regulations of not having family. And of course, while doing that, government also passed some red lines, like publishing personal data on some clerics, which is unacceptable, of course. But still, they hijacked the field of traditional values. And now Russia has no much field to work in that on that topic. And with conclusion, of course, Russia is trying to delegitimate the elections. That's the biggest part. That's, I would say, the most dangerous part in short term, because what we have seen since elections of last year in the second and fourth biggest cities of Armenia, we had local elections, and we have seen that pro-Russian groups are very actively trying to create an impression of having rigged elections, of having ballot stuffing, of having, I don't know, some terrible violations. While the reality is, last time the ballot stuffing in Armenia has happened in 2015. Even last elections before revolution that we had, 2017 national elections, so those elections were not so good, of course. They were far from being democratic, but no ballot stuffing has happened even then. So the last ballot stuffing happened more than 10 years ago in our country. But still, they're trying to create impression that ballot stuffings are happening, that many violations are happening, that the votes are being rigged and robbed. And so here also we're trying to explain that this is very far from reality. You know, in Armenia, we have half of commission members in precincts, representatives of opposition. We have cameras in polling stations. We have so many means to protect the votes, even means that no other country in the region has. I mean, in Armenia, to ensure that no one is voting instead of people who are absent of the country, we have a regulation to publish the lists of voters, of a list of voters who attend the elections. So everyone could see a specific person, does he or she has attended the elections or not, which goes against many regulations, many recommendations of Venice Commission, for example, but still that's being done in order to provide more transparency and less space for violations. I guess I was talking more than it was in this. Thank you very much.